Yeah, like what do you, I don't actually think there aren't white guys with big cocks.
I've been watching botfly removals. You guys know what a botfly is?
No.
So it's pretty much like it's a fly, but it's a larva, and it gets put inside the skin, and it could be any type. Usually, it happens in like animals and like squirrels and dogs and whatnot. But it can happen to people too.
The third world, probably, right? There's like things that don't happen to humans, and they're like, yeah, but like in South America, like everybody has this issue.
Actually, I think it's in like Denver. Like it's really, not. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that might as well be the third world.
Yeah,
Fuck it,
but only brown people get it. Don't worry, Mike.
Yeah.
But no, it burrows into your skin, and then it grows, and it seems like you just have like a pimple or a cyst, and then they pull it out, and if and then I don't know if you want to put it up on the wall over here, a video of it, because you can. That's kind of cool. And they pull it out, and the thing fights back, and you see it like going back in, while you're trying to pull it out, and then it burrows into the skin. What happens is once it grows, then it eats its way around the skin. Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Oh god!
But I've been watching dogs get that removed from their face.
I'm all set. I don't want to watch that at all.
Yeah.
Just put it on the whole episode. It's just the most unwatchable.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I like our heads just looking at it, but we're not really watching it. You know?
Oh,
dude, no way.
Just the most unbearable thing. Just 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah, I get
ISIS
so many
Spaghetti
complaints
videos.
about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, I like the podcast, but the green screen kind of takes me out of it.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
like, you just don't fucking get it.
yeah, it's
Does
cool.
it play the entire time, this green screen thing?
Yeah, there's like different like looping animations,
Nice.
and then sometimes I play golf on my computer and I put the video up,
Nice.
and that's it. That's all I
Yeah.
got for it.
Well, there's always those tips you like getting on podcasts. Like my brother calls me once a week. He's like, "This was good, but that wasn't good." My favorite one, I told you about my dad with the. So I had this joke on the podcast about how like my sister had a life-size Barbie head that I tried to fuck when I was a kid. It was like life-size. It was like this big, and he heard about it and he's like, "That's disgusting." Your grandparents hated the podcast. They turned it off. They were terrified by it. And then my mom was like being supportive. She's like, "I'm so proud of you for chasing your dreams."
It's at a crossroads.
Yeah. But then I was walking with my dad because I was in Chattanooga, and we're like walking through the woods, and he goes, "You know, we were watching Eddie Murphy last night, and man, he has this joke about putting action figures up his ass, and he's just got so much charm, and it's just not."
It's just
And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm like, you can just don't even talk about it with me. You don't have to be like,
Yeah.
just
I know Eddie Murphy is better than me. in
I'm like,
comedy.
why are you telling me that
Yeah.
shit?
I heard crazy stories about him as a kid. Like he would just walk onto a bus and just start like going, just like doing comedy for everyone on the bus, like as a child, and everyone's like applauding and laughing. It's like I never had a moment like that ever in my life.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. There's certain things, if you're white, you just don't have the charm to do that. You know what I mean? It's like you can't just go stop people. You know what I mean? Like it's different.
What are you talking about? I see white people begging for money on the bus all the time.
Yeah,
dude.
but nobody's having it. Versus like a little black
They get
kid who's
applause
like,
breaks when it happens.
Yeah. Dude, I would like to go on the train and just do like terrible showtime, just be like falling and shit. Like,
Just do your podcast there.
Oh yeah, you should, dude.
Dude, I mean, I'm gonna get my shit stolen probably, but maybe
Oh,
we'll just have 2 NYC cops sitting there. I don't know how that works, but
Yeah, well, there are a few comedians who are cops, right? Derek Drescher is kind of a cop.
No, he's total opposite.
I was gonna say, I think whatever the opposite of a police officer is, he is.
Yeah, but they meet at the end. It's like a full circle.
yeah, dude, I was talking to a cop recently who's like, "Man,
wait, no.
Yeah,
that's
maybe when they
making
throwing
sense.
you in a can, dude.
This
But
is fake news from the
Dude,
back, bro.
I didn't promise any truth here. But a lot of cops are like people who have done crazy shit in their
oh
life.
yeah."
The only way the Venn diagram circles in is that cops and criminals both have to talk to black people.
Yeah.
when they don't want to.
Yeah. Or have like one of those tattoos of like a dragon like flying up their arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the craziest part, dude, is when you see cops and they're just like so fucking gay, dude. Like, I know a couple kids I went to high school with that are police officers now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe you're a cop, dude. Like, makes me like want to break the law just to test you. You know what I mean? Like,
or like a woman cop. You know when you see a woman cop who's like hot?
Dude, yeah.
yeah, there's
Like,
a few of
there's
them. There's
no
a few of them.
way.
Hometown, well, because I think like to work your way up to detective,
Yeah.
you got to be like a cop, and like there's dude, she's getting information a different way. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
cop, fucking sexy cop.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so.
But you might get
I'm such
tested.
I just got a relationship. I'm so fucking horny all the time.
Can we? That's really what I want to talk about.
I gotta ease down a little bit because I'm just like, I want to fuck a chick up in the mouth.
And I know you have been, and I've been curious about it because also what you didn't mention about people critiquing your podcast was like, wasn't that a reason why she left you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a major one. Who gives a fuck about your dad? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
So wait, she was criticizing your podcast?
No, she just have to sit. Like the second she
was
started,
just criticizing him as a person.
Yeah.
His podcast fell under the umbrella.
Yeah. Dude, the second I'm telling you, the second she started staying home while I started recording podcasts is when the relationship started ending.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's not related. I'm like, it's definitely related because I'm in the other room just like, oh, come retards, diarrhea. And she's like, and I'm like, that was a great episode. Every time I'm like, that was the best one we've ever done. She's like, that's the best fucking one.
Wait a minute. So I haven't seen you since I saw you when you broke up. But when I first saw you, it was at Broadway Comedy Club, and you were saying like, we unshared the locations, blah 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 blah, and then
I think that was before we officially broke up.
Yeah. So is it okay if we reveal or I don't know,
dude? I don't give a. I'm fully up, bro. Last episode you guys did the pod, I was being a fucking little bitch.
Which was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. I was like,
on Sunday.
Oh no, she might listen to me, and then she no. I'll talk about coming in people's mouths. I'm going all the way in.
Good.
Good.
I don't want to make it all about me, but there's.
I do. I want to
I
make
do.
it all.
Yeah.
I've been dying to hear about
None of us have anything else interesting
I've been
going on.
coming
Like
him out
that.
since Nam.
So how'd it go from,
So what happened was I gave her the part. It was a general breakup. We've been dating since we were 19.
Well, hold on, wait. I'm sorry to interrupt, but just because, I'm imagining someone who probably listens and goes, how did it get to the point where I saw you and she said we're unsharing our locations? Go start from there.
So, but I saw you. That was before we broke up. That was before. It turns out I wasn't even sharing my location with her.
Oh, okay.
And then she got drunk, got mad at me, and unshared it with me. And I was
Were
like,
you aware of that or no?
No, I was like, I just didn't share my location. And then, but that wasn't how it fight. That was.
Oh, okay.
I think that was like 6 months ago, right?
Yeah, had to be.
Yeah. That relationship was going well after that, and then that was just like one little thing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, unrelated. But then what happened was I thought the relationship was going great because I was doing stand up every night, no complaining, leaving time.
That's a sign of a great relationship, dude.
Barely having sex, barely. But I'm like, dude, things are like. I mean, I see her, it's great. We have sex. I jerk off every other day, and just it's sad. It was getting so. But in my mind, I was just like, I'm getting better spots. I think I'm finding my voice. All this shit that's irrelevant to relationships. And then she eventually I had to dig it out of her. I was like, do you want a break? She's like, yeah, this is just not working right now. And
what made you dig?
Because she was just crying one day, and I'm like, I was like,
you skipped over a lot of shit. I feel like
yeah.
We're talking about how great your life was. What made you get? What feeling were you feeling from her? Where you're like,
yeah, she started expressing to me that she's like, I'm just really in a sad place, and she's like, basically, we started dating when we were 19, so we're like, even if the comedy shit wasn't happening, we're like, it wouldn't make sense to just date since you're not and never take a break. So we're like, our whole thing is we're a break. I mean, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen? But we're for sure not talking for 6 months. Maybe little communication. But basically, she's like,
I can't wait for you guys to get back together and you give her 9 STDs, malaria.
I don't think she's coming back. But go ahead.
No way.
No way. No, you're fine. Yeah, I'm very open minded. I'm like, yeah, we'll see what happens. But so we're like, all right. I was like, we'll stay together till the lease ends, and she's like, nah, we can't drag this out. And then I found somebody to cover the lease, or that was going to move in. I was like, okay, sweet. So we'll break up in a month. And she's like, I actually found somebody who's gonna, I'm gonna stay with her. How about she? Then she goes how about we tough out the lease? And I was like, no. I was like, you tough out the lease. I'm sleeping on an air mattress. Left. Was we had a month up. We took a trip to St. Pete, and I'm just in the bar crying while Margarita Bill's playing in the background, just a weird.
What, you took a trip together?
Yeah, and it was amazing. It was a great way to end the relationship, but because we still love each other, we're still.
No, that makes sense actually. I think that's the best way to do it because it was a celebration of the end, of the relationship.
Yeah,
towards the end. That makes sense.
Yeah. Those pictures are fucking terrible, dude. I'm looking at them just it's just me But then what happened was we moved out and. Okay, so I left. And it was funny because I left the apartment crying, and then I saw these comics filming a sketch as I'm crying in the subway. Just Adam Hamada, oh, I'm a guy from the streets, and he's a cop or something. I'm like, you guys.
Wait, who played the cop?
I don't know. I don't even
Derek Drescher.
Yeah, probably something like that. But Went out, didn't fuck anybody for a little bit. Fucked the first person.
I remember that night.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry to keep, but so there's still stuff that I'm curious about, and I feel like is missing. So when you brought it out of her, did she just lay all the shit that you were doing wrong, or was she taking like, you know what, it's me, I need time, or was she blaming?
She was
the
just like,
relationship?
she's like, it's so hard to date somebody that does stand-up comedy. She's like, I'm not telling you to stop doing it. I never want you to stop doing it. I know you resent me if you stop doing it, but this is so hard to do because it's like I have no idea where it's going financially. I'm embarrassed by the shit you post. She's like, I'm not telling you don't post it, but it's just embarrassing to be that.
Oh, wow, that fucking hurts, bro.
Yeah, and then she's like,
good for you.
Yeah, and then she's like,
good for her. Honestly, though, you know,
both sides of it. It's like,
yeah,
she's like, if you're not happy, you're not happy. She's like, you know, it's just kind of like it's not working. You know, we've been dating for so long that, yeah, that's just what's going on. And it's like the time I never see you. You're out of town all the time. You're doing shows all the time. I never spend time with you.
Yeah.
Which for me, I was like, we're spending so much time together. Because like for me, that was like enough time to spend together. I was like, this is almost too much time together. But not too much. But we broke
She didn't
up.
mention the cornrows at all.
I'm sure she wasn't happy about me getting cornrows.
You got cornrows?
Yeah, dude, look fucking sick.
No way, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Morning Good podcast. That's the cover. Me with cornrows and a gun. Yeah, I'm sure she was happy with that. But what happened was the first, I hook up with somebody, great time, squirted, great day. I was like, I'm back, baby. Things are going well. Second one.
Was that how many? That was the first time you fucked somebody
In like 7 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
For sure.
Yeah. Second one, this girl wasn't hitting me up on Hinge. She like wasn't answering me. So I was like, okay. My parents visited me for 4 nights, right? Because they were like, want to make sure, you know, everything's okay. Probably thinking I'm going to like kill myself.
Okay,
or something.
they heard about the breakup. You told them everything.
Yeah. They stayed for 1 night extra in the hotel. Or they're like, we'll rent one extra room just for you because we know you're about to live on an air mattress for 2 months. So that night, this girl like didn't hit me back up. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna order a fucking dominatrix. So I got a 60-year-old woman to come to the hotel, dude.
Yeah.
And
You got a 60-year-old woman to what?
to come to the hotel, like a dominatrix.
Oh, wow.
What hotel is this?
$200. This is right across the street from. Dude, it's so funny because this is right by my ex girlfriend's office. I'm like, dude, if she sees me, and then just like a woman in a leather coat with like fucking
And it's
Just
her boss.
chains clanging.
yeah. It's her boss. Yeah. But I told her to dress normal because I don't want to deal with any of that shit. And so $200. The woman shows up. By the way, very easy to book because she clearly is too old and is not getting any clients. But I want something depraved like that. Like, we do something fucking wild.
Did she like come in like coughing?
Yeah. Well, our fucking my hotel key wasn't working at first, which is so nerve wracking. I was like, "Fuck,
Got to do this in the hallway.
Yeah. And I tell her, she gives me like a list of role plays. I'm like, pretend you're like a babysitter, and I've been like a bad, I don't want to say kid, but you keep it vague with the ages and shit. You know what I mean? You're like, whatever. We're just doing a weird thing. And
Was she attractive? I'm sorry.
no. But I want
60 years old.
Yeah,
There's
no,
hot
but
si-
there's hot 60.
Yeah. I wanted something like
Did she have like big sweet
50 years
cans?
old.
she had giant tits.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted, something like that, because I wanted to feel real. You know what I mean? I wanted her to feel like, you've been bad. And so she shows up, terrible actress. She goes, do you know why you're in trouble? I go, no, why am I in trouble? She goes,
Looking around the place.
no idea what to fucking say. She fucking, then she's like, I heard you were bad to the last babysitter. I was like, yeah, I masturbated in front of her. She's like, that's terrible. You should never expose yourself. That's a sex crime. I was like, she walked in on me and she goes, that's not technically illegal. So, and I'm like, what are you fucking doing? You're terrible at this. Then she says the craziest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. We're in the bathtub, and I didn't think she was going to jerk me off or anything. And she goes, now I'm going to molest you. She goes, I'm molesting you, Michael. And she's just jerking my soft dick. And I'm like, can you not say that? Can you use like a different term? She's like, yeah, okay. She's like, and I'm like, why would you? Have you ever seen porn? They don't say I'm molesting you. And also, like, if you were molesting somebody, you wouldn't even say I'm molesting you. So, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Say something different.
In her defense, she probably gets a lot of that stuff, like where people actually want to be molested.
I'm
So what'd she
sexually
do?
assaulting
She
you, Michael.
She jerked you off?
Yeah. Jerked me out. First thing she did, look, this is fucking gross. I'll say it. She fucking spanked me over her knee. And
What was she wearing?
just dressed like a mom, like just kind of like typical like capris or some shit like that. It was disgusting.
Yeah, I know. This. Yeah. God damn.
That's so
Right?
funny because I'm rock hard. Anyway, continue.
But no, she did. Most of her clients are black dudes like being called the N-word. That's like the most common thing.
Wow.
Yeah, race play,
Sweet
yeah.
gig.
Yeah.
Sweet gig, this lady. No wonder she's a terrible babysitter. I'm molesting you, you pee.
But yeah, I was like, you probably get like 10 clients a week, right? She's like, nah, I'm lucky if I get 2. I'm like, oh shit. Then she does stand up in the fucking kitchen. She goes, funniest shit. She goes, I think I could do comedy. She's like a New Jersey mom, like probably Jewish or something like that.
She probably could.
She's
Sounds like Jess Levin.
Yeah. She goes, women these days, right? She's just in the hotel room in front of me. She goes, men or women these days, you think men want you? They just want you for the pussies, huh? And I was just like, safe word, get out of here.
Kumquat.
So she was $200. How much did you tip her? Or was it just $205?
Oh, I didn't tip her. Yeah, she's a terrible actress.
Wait, what? Did you have a safe word?
How do you find a dominatrix? Where did you find that?
First page of Google.
Yeah.
It's not illegal. But since then, I've had crazy experiences, dude. I was in Boston, and I took a sleeping pill because I didn't think I was going to fuck anybody. And then this woman messaged me on Field, which is like the freaky app, and she goes, I've been married to a woman for 10 years. I've been fucked a guy in 10 years. I want you to come over to my Airbnb and fuck me.
Wow.
I was like, no chance this is real. Because I was like, I just took a sleeping pill. I'm like, I took a sleeping pill. No way it's real. Went over there. Totally real scenario. And
What kind of pill?
Did
you have to like blow dust out of her pussy?
NyQuil. Yeah.
All right, you could stay. You could stay up at a NyQuil.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be fucking falling asleep at a potential like.
Yeah. Sure.
Dude, when I first started comedy, I was like, I have nothing to write about. I was like, I need something to write about. So I went to this girl's birthday party and I just drank a bunch of NyQuil before going. And it was at like noon. It was like a brunch. Yeah. And then I went and like the consensus, I was just sleepy the whole time. Like nothing cool happened. I was like, I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
But you can just survive on NyQuil. It's like kind of fun.
We used to get high off cough medicine as kids. There's like the correct kind of cough medicine that you're supposed to. I mean, you're not really, but.
I don't want to lose the thread here because this is really fascinating what's going on with you because you guys have been together since you're 19.
Yeah.
All the shit you're doing, you should have done that in your early 20s. You're like 30 now.
You're 26.
You're 26. Oh, okay. Then never mind. This is perfectly healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I thought you were like 30.
Yeah, me too.
I did. I mean, I know it's not that much of a difference, but I just assumed you were like 30.
It's a little bit of a difference, I think, because you're still getting, like, I guess in your 20s, you can kind of tell yourself, like, I'm still doing this. And not even if it's wrong. I don't know. I just feel like, do you feel
good? I think
good?
in the eyes of God, I would have been doing this wrong. No way. He's like looking up there like.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That's fucking insane. So after that happened, were you having moments where you were like, I miss her? Or
Oh, of course, dude. So this is what my day looks like, right? I'm sleeping on an air mattress.
Currently?
Oh, wait, hold on. Can I tell one story?
Dude, for sure.
I can cut it. Just tell me if you want me to cut it. But one day I showed up to do Michael's podcast, and this was like the week. I think it was the last podcast you shot in that apartment.
Yeah. Right,
and I walk in, and you didn't even we didn't even say hello. You just like shook my hand. You're like, dude, I hurt my back last night, so I just like laid on my living room floor for a while, and I couldn't get up. So then I just masturbated like all over myself, and my girlfriend came into me just laying on the ground, covered in my own cum.
No, she didn't come in. I think we joked about that part. Yeah. Then my back was fucked, so I put an ice pack on it, and I was like, while I'm laying down here, I might as well jerk off. And I came on my stomach, and I couldn't move. Right? I couldn't get out. I was fucking jizz on my stomach.
Why couldn't you move?
Because my back was like, the ice pack didn't help, so I laid on my back because my back was fucked
What'd you
up.
do to fuck your back up?
Sleeping on an air mattress for long periods.
I slept on an air mattress for months, and I was fine.
Well, I think it's also lugging around a suitcase and shit.
Yeah, it's probably
threw you back.
But the way my day works is like not as much anymore. I'm getting better now, but it was like cry about the relationship, write some jokes, go out, take my depression, bury it deep in a stranger's pussy like I'm loading a musket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it does make me feel better, dude, because like you meet somebody cool and you're like, oh, I love the...
It's out that it's out there.
Yeah, and I love the peek into people's lives, dude. It's so fun to just be in a random apartment where you're like, this is... Because you don't, like, once you fuck somebody, you just get to see the most honest person. And you see, like, a really cool side of them that you're like, damn, you could have been somebody walking down the street, and now I've put my penis inside you, and I know who you are as a person now. You're like, yeah, actually, I've always felt like I, like, really should have gone for dance, but I never really considered it. And I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's like in Harry Potter when they have that little gauntlet that they stick their head into and they get a peek of the past.
Yeah,
that's what it's like when you fuck one of these girls.
Pensive.
Well, the crazy one was
Pensive,
the one I was just fucking telling you, where I went over to this chick's place, and she lives with her ex-boyfriend, and she's like, he's totally cool, it's fine, he has a new girlfriend. She goes, I was like, where's the bathroom? She goes, right down the hall to the left. God may strike me down. Dude, go to the wrong room, walk in, ex-boyfriend's got a shirt up like this with his laptop. I'm like 95% sure I caught the dude jerking off. Then I take a blue chew and just rail her for like the best sex I've ever performed. And I'm like, dude, could you imagine some dude walking in on you, jerking off, and then just going in the next room and just fucking your ex-girl? I'm like, she's like, no, he's like, cool. I'm like, there's no way he's that cool.
Yeah.
He's going to murder her.
He's going to murder me, dude. She's
Yeah,
like, you
no.
spend the night. I'm like, no fucking chance. He's
No
going to have
way.
a piano wire over my head.
You should have tested the limits. Went in there like, bro, you got a condom?
I need Gatorade. I'm going to dehydrate.
No Trojan. I need a Magnum. Really going to light that thing up in there.
Yeah. Fuck that.
My favorite one, dude, this shit was... did I tell you about that chick who was like... I show up to this chick place, super like... she's from Cleveland, but for some reason she has a Philly accent that's thick as hell, and she's just the meanest bitch I've ever met in my life. She's like trying to like nag me a little bit. I walk in, and just a look on her eyes. She got this crazy look in her eyes. And I was like, are you on fucking drugs or something? She goes, what, are you on fucking drugs or something? And I was like, no. And then we talk for an hour because I got to make sure this girl's not like sober. And then somehow it comes up that I banged a trans woman because I'm told you, I just bring this shit up too much. You guys just heard me tell a story. I'm going to tell him this shit. And she's like, oh, dude. She's like, you fucking banged the tranny? She goes, dude, what are you, fucking gay? I swear to God, she goes, you probably have AIDS or something. I was like, no, I don't have AIDS. I banged a trans woman who had a vagina. I didn't know. I found out like 2 years later.
A brand new sterile vagina.
Yeah. And then we start making out. She goes, yeah, you probably don't even want to fuck me because I'm not a fucking dude. And
I love the Philly accent.
Dude, she's from Cleveland. I have no idea why this is her act, but that's exactly how she sounds. I asked her, she's talking about comedy. Her favorite podcast is Stuff Island, which is like Shane Gillis's friend's podcast. I'm like, how do you know what this is?
Yeah.
Before we hook up, she goes, if you watch Bob's for Burgers, that shit's hilarious. And I'm like, okay, whatever. We turn on Bob's Burgers, we start hooking up. She goes to the bathroom. I turn it off. She comes back. She goes, no. We're watching Bob's Burgers. I'm like, what the fuck?
Was she hot?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I don't know why I asked that question.
Yeah. But dude, sometimes you take
She
a
just
blue.
wasn't 60, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes you take a blue chew, and we start hooking up, and she's like, "Can you taste the Coke in my mouth?" And I was like, "Oh, you did Coke?" She's like, "Yeah, like fucking 4 hours ago." I was like, "I don't care." That's
What are you going to tell your trans boyfriend
Yeah.
about it? You're going to call him on the phone?
And then we have sex, and she goes. But first off, I pull out, and then she's blowing me, and I was like, "Can I just jerk off when I'm about to come? You put your mouth on it." And she puts her mouth out. My dick just like mid cum. My dick's like, do not get your cum anywhere near this woman. My dick stops coming like mid cum the second. And then afterwards she goes, yeah, great fucking sex. I was like sarcastically. I was like, is that sarcastic? She goes, what do you think? And I was like, next day text me and trying to hang out. I'm like, this is too much. I was like, we just didn't vibe.
That's a lot for your like.
You should hit her up on FaceTime right now and say we're talking. We're talking about you on a podcast.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you take a blue chew because I've had to do the other way. I take a blue chew, I go on a date, and I'm like, oh, this person's too great. I had to leave. I was like, even though I took a blue chew, I'm like, this person's fucking insane.
Wait, I know. I asked, is Blue Chew like a candy or a pill?
It's yeah, it's like a candy pill that you take.
Like a Flintstones gummy.
Yeah.
Before you-
Yeah.
It's chewable.
Imagine those in Halloween basket.
Giving
Giving
out
little
blue chills.
kids just a bunch of ghosts with like little.
Dude, if you
boners.
think about like your 15-year-old boner, I was like, you fucking that shit doesn't go down. So
No.
that's a serious issue. You're giving.
I always thought it was gonna like rip through the skin. Doesn't it feel like you're gonna get like more dick? Like it's just gonna
Like
break
a
through.
snake shedding skin when it grows. Yeah, because it's like, but it's weird getting a boner when you were like a teenager because like you weren't horny, you just had a boner for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember
That was
my
the
first one.
weirdest
I
part.
freaked out. I was at camp and I looked at. I thought it was like broken or something like that because like I just didn't understand what it was. Like I thought you just put your dick in soft and pee inside women, and then I was like,
Yeah.
damn, this is fucking like terror. It was just, it wouldn't go down. I freaked out. I was like, my dick's broken. This is like a huge problem. And then eventually it goes down. But yeah,
When I first started masturbating, I was really young, and
you didn't come. Yeah, I didn't come. Yeah.
And then when I was just going through the ritual of doing it, and then cum came out, I was like, I fucking ruined this thing. Something's wrong. But who am I going to tell about it? So I just kept it to myself, and then until
Until right now. Live news from bed tape.
Dude, I would pee afterwards, and I thought that was coming, and because I couldn't come, and I was like,
Oh, I got so much.
yeah, I was like, fucking fat loads.
Yeah, right.
Wait till this is on a woman's face.
Michael, what are you doing in there? I'm coming, Mom.
Oh,
Wow, man. So are you good?
Yeah, I'm better.
You see good.
I'm toning down a little bit. Like the first couple weeks, you're like going crazy. Like I got my ass eaten on a Murphy bed in Austin, Texas, which should be a T-shirt. I made a T-shirt with that on
Oh,
it.
yeah,
And the girl was like, "That's a sick shirt." She's like, "You should make these and give them to my friends."
Yeah, you should, and then put Morning Good Podcast on it, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So do you like this is just pent up? I've been in a relationship.
Yeah, like I never cheated or anything like that. So I think there was that part of me that's like,
Yeah.
it's just going. And I talk to everybody who's been in this. They're like, "Oh yeah, like that's you're gonna do that for another month."
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, because I feel like. Do you think there's like a downward?
Yeah, I'm gonna get bored of it for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm also not looking for a relationship right now, just with comedy. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
100%.
Yeah.
Like I would never not do one, but like at least for the next 6 months, because you're also in real rebound mode. Like the first time you meet a cute girl, it was like actually like nice and stuff like that. You're like, oh my god, like you're nice to me, and like because girls say stuff like if they're like that's crazy, your ex girlfriend like wasn't supportive. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
I would let you play with my boobs all the time.
yeah. Yeah, just stuff.
It's crazy. She didn't want you to do that in Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know men and women handle breakups differently. Like men are more just like they want to like sleep around and kind of party and go, and then like women just like cry with like Grey's Anatomy and ice cream and all that shit.
Yeah, she started like a book club I saw on her Instagram story. I was like, wow, we are dealing with this.
we are having.
Unless the book club's all just dudes she's fucking. But I'm like, that is really a wholesome thing to do during this stuff.
You had a little black book club.
Yeah. I was in fucking, like 3 nights ago, I was just like drinking with this girl in the middle of Astoria Park, which was kind of fucking a blast until the next morning. And I'm like, who am I? But like at that moment, I was like, this is so cool that like I don't have a fucking day job. I don't have a fucking home. And I don't have a girlfriend. Dude, I know it sounds bad.
This is so cool.
He doesn't
I
have
don't
a
have a
bed.
job. I don't have a house.
Yeah.
Got no wife. It's fucking awesome.
I got molested by a 60-year-old.
Yeah. But it's like you're drinking, looking at the city. You're like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
New York.
It is fun. Dating is fun in New York. It's a pain in the ass because like half the people you get are just they don't have the same interests or it's like a game to a lot of people, you know. But like it is fun to just meet people and go to. I like going to places that I've never been to.
Yeah.
Like, I'll pick a spot and then I just randomly pick like the shittiest spot. But it's
Well,
like,
it's also
fun.
you're also like in New York. It's like you can meet people from places you would never fucking interact with ever,
True.
dude. You know,
Yeah.
like you know, or just any of that shit. You know, so
or you're like me and you like only date white people for some reason.
For some reason, I can't figure out what it is. Yeah.
because you care about the future. You want to make a good politician.
I've been trying to branch out into the Asian demographic.
Work your way up.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Well, that's way up. Whites to
experience?
Asians. That you gotta. That's a high way to go.
I think you're starting
Yeah.
by skin tone, and then it's going to work. Then it's Mexicans, and then he's
I
going
don't
to get to black.
Yeah, it
people.
is. It goes. I got to go in the work ethic direction first, which is Mexican.
Wait, what are you talking about? Asians
Then-
work the hottest,
Yeah.
dude.
Not as hard as Mexicans.
It's just different
Ah.
Yeah,
Because I would argue that Mexican work is harder than Asian work.
it is.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. Some of those factories.
Yeah,
Being like
yeah,
9
that's
years
true.
old in a factory and all you get is rice.
My
It's fun,
favorite factory videos are it's always like fish. It's like a fish factory, and there's just like one like Chinese guy just standing at the thing, and he takes a fish out and puts it, and then you see like no fish come out. He like looks in, and just like 1,000 of the biggest fish just swarm out.
Oh,
and just
yeah,
like
yeah.
covered. He's like falling over. I like those.
Have you seen,
That's how you look at this guy's life.
there's like a baby working there.
Yeah,
it's
there's
great.
a baby with like putting out a cigarette.
Like,
You're
how is
"What?"
this possible? How does that even work?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. My favorite is the video of the guy. I've seen the guy who's got like a giant thing of vapes and he's testing all of them. The guy's like going and just doing that. Do Asians die of lung cancer because they smoke so many cigarettes?
yeah,
they got to be
they
dying
do.
of it, right?
Of course they do.
Yeah, and then a new one sprouts out of their chest.
Yeah. Like fucking alien.
I think a lot of Asians as well are like allergic to alcohol. I think
Yeah,
there's
they
a
are, yeah.
Yeah.
The weird thing is really funny is in my mind that was the dumbest shit I ever said because I was like, how many Asians do I know dying of cancer? I'm like, I don't talk to that many Asians. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm never like, yeah, what's going on with your
Asians
grandma?
rule, dude. They love smoking and they fucking love gambling as well. It's like something popular, especially like the Chinese. It's like just gambling is such a part of their culture. And
Yeah.
it's like you can talk to so many Chinese people and they're like, oh yeah, like they just grew up gambling from when they were a child. And I'm like, yeah, this is like, I feel like the idea a lot of people have of Asians, at least a lot of white people who like didn't grow up around a ton of them is like, oh yeah, they just work hard, shut the fuck up and do good in school. But then like, they're like, oh wait, well, Like, what about everyone else?
Well,
You
they're
know
so
what I
good at
mean?
math that it's not really gambling for them. For them, they're like, this is just going to be me making all
True.
this money.
It's actually literature.
It's actually the casino gambling with them.
Yeah. Seeing what they're doing.
Dude, I knew an Asian guy who fucking counted cards hard, and he'd ask me like how to dress like a retard because he's like, yeah, you know, you and your friends the way you guys. I got to be convincing because they can't think of counting cards. Because he was doing the wrong thing. He's wearing like a Bud Light bucket hat. I'm like, this is not believable. Like you got to have like a convincing outfit, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you don't think that's a good counting cards?
It
I would
just
think
look-
that guy's not. I think he's more counting crows than counting
Yeah,
cards.
yeah. He looked like how like a hipster here would wear like a wife beater and like
Yeah.
a Bud Light. I could tell you're not really
It's like a
attracted.
Halloween
Oh, okay.
costume.
Yeah. What? I don't know. What would you have to wear? What's like not?
So if
noticeable?
I was okay, it depends on race, right? So if I was an Asian guy and I was doing that, I would go like street racer Asian to look like a kind of drunk, because you want to look like a drunk kind of party guy. So I would wear like maybe like one of those Suzuki. What are the motorcycles they ride? The little like
Yeah, I think Suzuki is.
Kawasaki.
Kawasaki.
Suzuki.
Kawasaki's. Have like a fade, probably something like that.
Spiked hair.
Yeah,
gelled
spiked-
up.
I think if you just go to a thrift shop and just buy shitty, dusty clothes, you're good, right?
Yeah, but they still think you're smart. They have to think you're a dumbass because it's not about looking poor or smart. It's like about looking like you don't know what's going on. So I think if you dress, the more you put into outfits, sometimes you look more like a retard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a Guido guy who's like wearing like.
But I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
But then I go, what? Like, so if I can count cards, how is it a casino? What's it matter? Like, how could they even tell anyway? Like even if I am counting cards, it's like that's, you know what I mean? Like, even
Well, they'll kick you out.
but how could they tell?
It is kind of. I don't know. I think they just
hire a lot of those people who work against that stuff are people that did it themselves.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Like a lot of times when people get like banned or thrown out of like gambling establishments, a lot of other places will offer them jobs working for like their counter.
Yeah, I've heard this. They have cameras above every table, and then
Yeah,
they have
watch
those guys
everything.
in another room watching.
Yes, they can literally tell. They're like, you are counting, and it doesn't. It's not anything you have to prove. You're just like, you're not allowed at this casino because we know what you're doing.
I had a
Yeah,
guy,
and they
it's-
can't, and the police aren't gonna be like, you have to let this person in. They're like, no, I know what they're doing. They
Yeah.
can't be here.
no, yeah, no.
I'm surprised they caught him counting cards because it's like so hard to
No, they
see
never
his
caught him.
eyes moving because
Oh, yeah.
so small.
I had a guy.
Because the glasses.
Yeah, because of the glass.
Yeah.
I was in a casino one time in upstate New York, and it was the end of the night, and I was cashing in tickets. I was playing. I don't know. I was playing cards or whatever the fuck, but I was in line cashing out the vouchers, and this guy walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, can you cash this for me?" And it was a voucher for like over $2,000. And he's like, "I'll give you $100." I go, "I'm not gonna get taxed on this, am I?" He's like, "No, it's just a straight." I go, "All right, I'll do it." Before I could get to the thing, fucking security comes up to me and grabs me, and they're like, "Yeah, whatever he just gave you can't cash." The guy was banned from the casino. Came up to me, offered me like $100 to $200 to cash the thing, and then they just took the voucher. He was gone. You know, I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, fuck, yeah."
I've only.
That was it was Turning Stone.
Oh, okay.
Have
Turning.
you been
Stone.
there?
No, but I've
It's
been
like
to
by
one.
Syracuse, kind of.
Yeah, there's one casino way up in like Messina, New York, so it's like almost Canada. And I went in there with like a really sad. I had this theory that if I look really sad on the cameras, they'll like get me to win, like on the slots. Like I don't know why. Because I was like, if I'm
Those
upset,
things are rigged.
yeah,
Those
because I'm like,
things are
Everybody in there sad.
it's all like electronic.
Yeah,
You're not going to compete with like a fat woman on like a rascal scooter.
No,
Like, that
but
is
they
the
just go
status.
like this. They just keep hitting the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I walked in like, I'm not buying it. This is all bullshit. I know it's fake, whatever.
They are.
Dude, sure enough, third pull, $60 cashed out.
Good
Never
for you.
went to a casino
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
The other day, dude, I was in Vegas like a month ago, and there was a kid the other day. I walked by him. He fucking had $12,000 on the fucking slot machine, dude.
Jesus.
Fuck, dude. Kid was like 22 years old.
Oh, it's this shit,
He was
dude.
waiting for people to come over to like. Once it's like a big amount of money, I don't think you could just like. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's like $12,000. I was like, shit, dude.
We had a
On
friend.
a slot machine. I
Yeah.
understand that happening off of sports and shit, you know,
Yeah.
because like that makes sense, you know,
Like a
that's
parlay.
common. But fucking
Do you
slot
guys do
machine?
sports betting? Do you guys bet?
No, but I had a friend who did it, and he got like he went to a bachelor party, and like he couldn't like afford the bachelor party. Like he was we're kind of like lending him money because he's like a cool guy. And then he won so much money that he paid for the whole bachelor party and got his dick sucked.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, the great
amazing.
like by a hooker. And I was like, dude, that what a fucking like,
That's awesome.
Yeah, poetic.
dude, that's
Good
the
for him.
best
Good friend.
fucking shit. To
Yeah.
just be like, yeah, no, like you whole vacation, like I can act like a full retard this whole weekend
Yeah.
and come back with more money than I had.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
How
used
much
to-
did he win?
I don't know. It was a lot.
Where were you, in Vegas?
Oh, Key West, Florida.
They got casinos down there?
No. I'm saying he won a sports betting.
Yeah, but can you like gamble on sports down there? Oh, so you just calling somebody or something?
Yeah. It was like one of those. Yeah.
I used to gamble like every day, and now I don't miss it at all.
Yeah.
I think it's so. I gambled when I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago because I'm like, I never had like an issue. Like I know people that don't think they're addicted to gambling, and they're 100% addicted to gambling.
Yeah, I don't know how you get addicted to it.
Because it's easy to. It's like, it's fun. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like, it's fun gambling.
Yeah. I get
sports.
addicted to like booze and nicotine.
Yeah. Well, it's similar. It is like a drug. And then you see, like, now it's so easy. It's on your fucking phone. It's like the way shit is, like these apps and stuff, the way they're made, it's like, it just looks like fucking Instagram and fucking Twitter anyways.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, they got people fucking hooked, dude.
Yeah, it's like a slot machine Instagram, I feel like, too.
Yeah.
Just keep scrolling through.
Oh, that'd be a great, like a literal slot machine where it Venmos you.
Yeah.
People would be.
Isn't that what posting is anyway? It's just like, all right, let's see if this works. Let's see if this works.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's just a different credit, a social credit.
Yeah.
But I've bet on golf for like a year, like a season.
That's
I bet
fun
on
to
golf.
gamble on golf.
It's so much
you
fun.
can bet long shots for like $10 and have fun.
Yeah, this was like the year Scotty Scheffler like really took off.
3 years ago.
And I saw him like play a couple rounds. I was like, this guy's fucking awesome. So him and Cam Smith, I would just put $10 on him to win.
Aussie?
Yeah, and I won like $800 and then got out. Yeah, I only put
good.
like 50 down
It's
total.
fun.
That's how you gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it. It's like people gamble every day, like on shit they like don't know any. Like I started gambling on horse racing, and like you go to a track, they give you a program with all the past performances and everything. Like if you're on DraftKings, there's none of that.
No.
And they don't want you to have access to any of that shit. You know, they don't want you to know like how Matthew Stafford plays outdoors in the cold. Like they don't none of that shit.
No.
And, like they just like it. I don't know. It's just like such a losing game now. Gambling.
Horse betting is the most fucking fun. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I went to Saratoga for a friend's bachelor party, actually, too.
Greatest place in the world.
100%, bro.
Greatest place in the world.
We were just chilling. We got a good spot, and it was right where they walk out the horses. So you check them out, like, all right, this one looking all right, and then you go and gamble, and then we were right by where they would race and just walk right out, check on your horse. If you won, great, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But it was nice watching them, because it's true, you get to examine, you get their history.
Absolutely.
And it was kind of like, we're all standing around looking at, like, trying to find the hottest girl at the bar when these horses are coming around, like, oh, yeah, that one's going to fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, I bet you that shit can get so fucked up. Like, dude, if somebody pays you, like, you could be like, all right, I'm going to purposely get some sort of horse flu and then hang out with the horse.
It's happened.
On it.
It's
probably so much shit like that.
That happens in every sport, though. It's like that happens in basketball, baseball, football.
Just walk by with a thing of thumbtacks and accidentally drop it where the horses are, or
Yeah.
something like that. Or I guess that probably wouldn't penetrate.
A lot of the times with horse racing, what's happened is, especially the last few years, has happened a lot, is the horses fail their piss test. And a lot of trainers have come out and said, "I'm not fucking."
You've been smoking weed?
No, it's
Seabiscuit.
steroid. It's a steroid. But a lot of trainers have come out and they say, It's someone.
Someone's sneaking in at night and fucking
Yes.
juicing it.
Yeah,
That's a smart move.
Did you do the Comedy Works when you were in there?
No, I was just trying to have fun.
Okay. Because I started in upstate New York, and that was like one of the places I would go to do comedy. I would drive like an hour and a half to get out there. Yeah. And do like 5 minutes. But it was a good room. It's a really good town. There's like this cigar shop.
Dude, it's the best.
I don't know.
100%.
The cigar shop is fucking awesome. I don't know the name of it, but you just sit in there on like a leather chair.
I've been
and just like,
on Broadway.
Yeah, it's
I know what you're
fucking
talking about.
sick. Stadium is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The restaurant.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the place there, but we went to some spot, and at Saratoga, I did not know about Saratoga like that, but it really is kind of like Myrtle Beach. Everyone's just getting fucked up.
In the summer, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
out there,
dude. I was blown away about.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Were you drinking
100%.
at the
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, I'm drinking now. I'm back.
Dude, here we go, baby. Yeah. We got another one back.
Let's
We got
go,
another
dude.
one.
That's like that. Saratoga is legitimately one of like the greatest drinking towns in America. I think
It's
like,
really good.
especially in the summertime where it's like a fucking. I mean, you could do anything up there.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it, Caroline Street? It's like, is that the street where it's just mental, like fucking 3:30 in the morning? You're like, this is insane, dude.
Yeah.
We went golfing over there too. That was another that's another thing. I kind of like places like that where you could do shit as opposed to just being. I mean, getting drunk on a beach is all right, but as I'm getting older, I'm like, I want a little activity.
Yeah,
100%.
There's SPAC too, Saratoga Performing Art. You see some Dave Matthews Band.
There you go.
He loves it.
We actually had strippers because it was my friend's bachelor party. We had strippers come to the Airbnb house that we had, and we all kind of looked ridiculous when they walked in. We all had our pants off, just sitting on the couch while they were just like grinding up on us. And it was probably
Well, did your pants off?
We all had our pants off. We were just in our boxers, sitting on the couch together. It was ridiculous, and they were the most ridiculous. I don't know.
By the
what
way,
kind
you
of
got escorts. I hate to interrupt your story. I had a similar thing, and everybody's like, no, you got hookers. If they came to you, apparently, like.
Oh really?
Yeah. I was like, I got these like nice women.
Fuck anyone for a good amount of money.
We didn't fuck them. I mean, we just watched.
I know.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Fucked each other, honestly.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. 100%. Yeah, I appreciate that, but no one fucked them. That I know of anyway. But I remember talking a lot of shit to the guy who came in because I took acid that morning. And so I was already I was feeling myself. Hey, I'm the funny guy, right, guys? And I had that kind of attitude. I forgot what he said. He says something like, if you guys want to do blow, you could do that here. And he was bald. I'm like, yeah, can I do it off of your head? And my boy's like, right? No one laughed. And he was like, what was that for? And I was like, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm on acid.
Dude, we had the ones where they put glow sticks in their assholes and you did a ring toss on it with other glow sticks.
Wow.
Yeah. But obviously, there's always one guy at the bachelor party.
Wow.
I like how you weren't interested, but in my mind, that's interesting.
I'm just not even computing it.
Wow.
Dude, the level we've talked about this.
He's a little prude.
I'm such a I'm so uncomfortable with sexuality in general.
But intimacy you like.
I like
I'm the
intimacy.
opposite. Like us being on the bed here, I don't like this. But if we were at a bar,
I know, dude, you're halfway out the door.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I know. I'm sinking in. I'm getting comfortable.
Yeah. It's nice.
If we were at a bar, you were sucking on the right tit of a woman, I was sucking on the left tit of a woman. I'd be like, this is a good day. But then you just gently being like, hey man, I really appreciate being here. I'm like, ew, it's fucking disgusting to me. I don't know.
I can't imagine why his girl would leave.
Yeah, the idea of a poor woman shoving a glow stick and laying on her stomach while just drunken men throw
play horseshoes.
That's so sad.
She looked like she was having fun.
And
It's her professional job.
Was
to
the
look
glow
like
stick
But it's crazy to me that she goes, this is so much better than a job.
Yeah.
Well, who knows what her purse looks like at the end of the night, though?
Oh,
She's cleaning
yeah.
up. You know what I mean? It's
But there's always one guy too.
Good
Who's the
for her.
funniest? Is they're always the guy who's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck her on my own merit." It's like that's not gonna fucking work, dude. You just pay her to fuck
Yeah.
her.
I've been that dude.
Every guy is that guy.
I told you I got with that Irish stripper, and then I hung out till 8 a.m. and she just did coke and read like an Irish play to me, and I was like, oh.
I was getting shit one time. This is like a long time, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. I was at a strip club, and I went one night with one of my buddies. We were just there drinking, and I was like, this girl fucking loves me. Like, this girl's hitting on me, right? Like, I know the difference between a stripper doing whatever. So I told all my buddies, I'm like, we got to come back here in a couple days. Like, I'm like, this girl likes me. Bro, when I tell you the shit people were saying to me or whatever was, rightfully so. Rightfully so. They had every fucking right, dude. Dude, I ended up going home with that broad, dude.
You fuck her?
She blew me. You know what I mean?
For free?
Yes.
I like he goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She sucked my dick if you know what I mean.
Well, I didn't want to bang her. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I just wanted her to blow me. You know, but I didn't pay for anything. She wasn't and then we were gonna go on dates and shit. And then I remember she wanted me to go to her kids' little league game. And I was like, I'm not fucking going to New Hampshire to go to your kids'
You're
little
like, ooh,
league game.
nice baseball bat. You know what I'm gonna do this later? Stick it up your mom's pussy.
She fucking flipped the fuck out on me for not wanting to go.
I know
to
it's
a
loose
fucking...
because she popped you out. I can fucking fit this thing in there.
Yeah, she was pretty.
She was pretty.
It's like, Ma, you're supposed to oil the mitt, not the bat.
Yeah. Dude, one of my friends, he's in jail now, which is deserved. But he one time,
Which is deserved.
this stripper. First off, I have one friend who keeps saying he didn't fuck a hooker. He goes, no, I paid for the room, and we happened to have sex in the room that I paid for. I was like, no. You paid to fuck her. You paid for a room at a strip club and had sex with a woman in that room.
She gets the money.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what do you think is happening here? Yeah, but another one of my friends, stripper was blowing him, and he goes, if I come on your tits, and I give you $20 extra, will you put it in my friend's face?
Oh
And
my god!
and my other friend apparently was just like, and then told him later. Yeah.
So what do you go to jail for? Hopefully that.
I would have fucking killed both of them,
can't get into
dude.
details
I would have
on that.
fucking pulled out a fucking piece and killed everybody on site, dude.
Yeah. Probably like glowing. It's probably neon lights too, so you probably see it pretty well. It's probably
it's like blacklight, so it's like glistening.
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't see.
That's
or
a bad
feel.
kid, though, man. To have that thought. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
I
to
know.
interrupt, but I was like, that's a fucking evil
And to
friend.
only offer
absolutely.
$20, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
such
yeah.
a low.
Yeah. Well, that's probably.
I would have killed. I'm not even lying. I think I would have actually killed. I would have fucking got a gun and found everybody involved.
Dude, would I?
That is the worst thing you can do to somebody, dude.
Well, the one thing I've also decided with strip clubs is like you got to go with at least like 7 people. When you go with like 2 or 3 people,
You
because
don't
right
want
when
to
I
go
got on my
dolo. You
breakup,
don't go by yourself, dude.
it's so fucking sad, dude. It's like when you go with like 2 or 3 people, it's just it becomes too sexual and less fun. When you go with like 10 people, I've been at like a comedy festival one time, went to a strip club afterwards, and there was like the shy guy. And then you're like, yo, put your ass in his face. And he's like, okay. You know, that's fun.
Yeah.
Versus like 3 guys.
I've
being
only
like,
gone to a
"God damn,
strip
I'm
club a
horny."
few times. I've only gone to a strip club probably 2 or 3 times.
Dude, I go all the time. And in my relationship, I would always tell my girlfriend, I'm like, yeah, everybody, they just dragged me there. And really, I was always like,
Would she get
we got to
pissed?
go to the strip club.
Would she get
Probably walks
pissed?
in, hey, Michael. Sup, Catherine?
She would just be like, you're going a lot. It wasn't like that often, maybe like 4.
Going a lot.
It would be like 4 or 5 times a year.
That's a pretty good amount, dude. That's
For a
like a
strip
lot
club,
of
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
And my poor girlfriend, you don't take me anywhere.
Yeah, I don't have the funds.
Cinnamon has the funds.
Yeah.
She's got all.
But it was like
Fuck.
one of my favorites. We went for one of my friend's birthday who died, and like we were celebrating his birthday after it. And one of our friends' birthday is at midnight that same night, and so like we're celebrating our dead friend. We go to the strip club, and this guy's getting a lap dance, just the most aggressive lap dance. And it's midnight. He goes, "It's my birthday now," which is like the darkest look in his eyes.
Oh man, I don't know if I told you this, but I've only gone to a strip club once.
Yeah,
And
To visit your sister?
bring a box lunch.
That's why he hates sex. It's all about intimacy.
But yeah, naturally I was like so adverse to the whole like culture, like because we got this VIP booth and it was me and 4 of my friends, and they just bring like a stripper over for each guy or whatever.
Yeah,
And they're just like sitting next to you, like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Good. Like, how's your day?" You know, just like making shitty small talk.
yeah.
And I was like, "Do I just like hand you $1 or something?" And she's like, "Why don't we get a dance?" Because I was just driving her nuts, you know.
Sure.
So she brought me over to like the back room, and like we're waiting in line, and there's like this sketchy guy who's like, you know, doing all the books and everything. And my friend is also there with another stripper, and all of a sudden over the loudspeaker, they're like, Jasmine to the stage. And my friend stripper is like, "Oh my god, I have to do this, like I'm so sorry." And he's like, "Oh, like what the fuck," or whatever. And then she like walked away, and I was like, "Hey dude, you should just join in on my dance." And he was like, "Sure, all right," because we had neither one of us, so I had no idea what it was. So dude, we just sat in a room, like no joke, thinner than like the width of this bed, like
Yeah.
right next to each other, and she just did a lap dance on both of us, just going back and forth. And I was 100% rock hard. And he was totally soft. It was really funny.
Yeah, I never enjoyed. I the times I've been to. I think the first time I went to a strip club was in Canada, in Montreal, and I'm like, everyone's like, you gotta go. And
You
I'm
can
like,
drink in those, right?
Yeah, dude, you could do fucking anything up there.
Wow.
It's
a drink or piss.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can go
yeah.
crazy. Wait, what do you mean you can drink? You can drink in every strip club.
No, you can't. So,
No.
so some of them, they have looser rules because if they serve alcohol, they have to be regulated by the ATF, which is the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms Bureau.
Yeah, I know what
So
that is.
They get more. He's like, they get more naked if they have like less.
Really,
restrictions,
every
yeah.
strip club I've ever gone to served booze. Granted, it's only been 2 or 3 strip clubs, but damn, I didn't know that. Fuck, who the fuck wants to go be there sober?
Oh,
Well, you get fucking blacked out and then just roll in there.
Well, my thing too is like they need to start doing like a Brooklyn DIY strip club. Like that they're doing all this with comedy shows. They need like a comedy show in or a strip club in a laundromat where you like bring your own White Claws or something like that.
Yeah,
That seems
yeah.
to be
I'm
the style,
sure
though.
something like that exists in this hellhole of a city.
I did a set at a strip club in Kentucky. We actually all drove out to it. Me, Mark Henley, Pat Haggerty, and Travis Grant.
Oh, that's a crew.
It's a crew, and it was those. And I guess the owner wanted wanted it to be good, but we all knew it was like, there's no way. And he didn't want to do it inside. So everyone would take a break with their stripper and come outside for a smoke break, and there was a bar back there, and that's where he wanted us to perform comedy for the entire night. So like 8 to like 1 in the morning, and you guys go up in between and just keep doing sets to people as they walk by and hang out.
God.
Dude, it was the worst gig. We got paid a lot of money, but it was the worst gig because also they're just trying to fuck a stripper. Nobody, hey,
who needs that shit?
100%. And then he told the shippers to like show us a good time, and like. Clearly, what he was trying to do was the same as a casino.
Get your money back.
Get your money back. And only 2 idiots, I'll let you guess, out of the crew, decided to give all their fucking money back to the stripper and to the bar the entire fucking night.
Oh, my God. Mark?
Idiots.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Mark?
No, me and Mark were the only ones.
Yeah, I was going to say Pat.
Yeah.
And I don't know the other guy. But,
Travis Grant, who's a fucking hilarious guy. It was ridiculous. Pat did like 40 minutes up top, and then I went up, did 25, and Pat was hosting.
Dude, comedy's
I
so
love the idea
retarded.
of a guy
dude.
getting a lap
Comedy's
dance
so
by a
retarded.
chick, and he goes, wait, hold on, babe. What is he saying about it?
Are they talking about dating out here?
Yeah.
I need to go see this.
I'm like, my parents got divorced as a kid. I'm like, yeah, ours too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was brutal. Dude.
It's so funny too because so many people try to draw parallels between like porn stars and comedians, and it's like, yeah, but if you put them in the same venue, like there's no more opposite people like at
the
all.
strippers try talking to us as if we're similar ilk. Like, oh yeah, we sometimes it's a performance. We got to get our sets in. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe she's right. You know,
Yeah.
How can I say we're both kind of whoring?
They probably
ourselves
do
out.
have like closers, where they just twerk or whatever.
No, because when we were talking that dwarf stripper, he's always like, we talk about that. Like, I had a dwarf stripper on my podcast a couple times.
Oh,
So-
I remember you telling me about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
But for him, it's like fucking so shitty because it's like, we're like, dude, if you're bombing and then you're just like shaking your cock out, it's so sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, wait, like I've seen strippers where nobody's throwing money on the stage and it's the saddest thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
It's
like at that wrestling thing we went to, remember?
oh, yeah. They had like these e-girls. We went to like this wrestling in a bar. And apparently the reason
What's
they did,
e-girl?
like, it's that sort of like
It's like not goth, but it's not like, I don't know, it's like kind of
like
goth.
thin
I guess.
girls who were into like Adventure Time and like stuff like that.
Like
anime
blue
and
hair
shit?
and like tattoos and like black lace and shit.
yeah. Really thin normally or really fat.
Really
Never-
hot.
What's E stand for?
Like electronic maybe.
I don't know.
Why don't you look that up?
Stands for
Yeah.
you.
News from the
Yeah,
bed.
let's go over here.
Definition of e-girl.
And there it is.
There it is. There she is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would dance between the rounds, and they would kind of just like roll around on the ground of this bar that's like
'cause
covered
there's
in
no
broken
stage.
glass.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's no
Oh,
stage,
man.
so people are like fighting each other in, and apparently if they make it an official match, then it has to be regulated, so they can't make it as bloody and make it like a death match. But if they do it in a bar, it could be as like performative as possible. That's why it was like at a bar and grill in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you sent me a video to that or some
Yeah,
shit.
dude, they were smashing like duct taped fluorescent lights. Like it
Yeah.
was like 9 fluorescent lights duct taped together, just smashing them over each other's heads. Like they're just bleeding like crazy. One guy got thrown through a door, like a solid door, just split it in half.
Yeah, I rooted for
Yeah.
the wrong guy. That was so annoying. I was at the bar. There's this guy named Casanova Valentine. I was like, "Hey, man, really excited for the show." He goes, "Mm-hmm," and I'm like, "Fuck you, you fucking!" I just hated him immediately. I was like, "How dare you not be friendly to me?" Which is totally gay of me, but I was like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
And then I see him, and
Casanova Valentine.
everybody goes Casanova. I go, "Kick his ass, Casanova Valentine," thinking it's the other guy.
Yeah, because the other guy was supposed to be the heel.
yeah,
And Casanova was supposed to be like the good guy or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then it's like Casanova Valentine wins. I'm like, yeah. And I see his hand get raised. I'm like, no, that guy. I hate that guy. And the funniest is like there was this guy who tried to start chants and none of them got started.
Yeah.
He's just this nerdy guy, and he goes, "He's a teacher in New Jersey," and everybody just like would look at him and not chant along. We're like, how do you know this about this guy?
Yeah, people who are into
Yeah.
people who are into wrestling and stuff. That's a different breed, dude.
Yeah, it is. Are we going to speak about what breed that is?
They're just nuts, dude. They're fucking crazy, dude.
Have I told you about my hybrid theory? I think Hollywood is making hybrid Down syndrome people who can act.
Wow, that was a big
Yeah.
jump from where we were, but go ahead.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, I have some topics like that. And I'm like, anywhere I can find to insert this, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah. Like, did you see that movie with Woody Harrelson that came out? Like,
No.
What is it called? The Retards?
The Retards with Woody Harrelson. No, it's called, like, I know what you're talking about. So we saw the trailer for it. This is just the trailer of the movie, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's a basketball coach who gets a DUI, and he still wants to coach basketball, but he's kicked out of the majors or whatever you call it. Yeah, and to teach a special needs team. And I already know what's going to happen.
Oh, my God.
We talked to friends about it. Like, there's going to be a scene where, like, he falls, like, in love with these kids. And then his friend's like, "You're gonna go there and coach these retards?" He's gonna be like, "They have more heart than you'll ever have," or something like that.
Yeah.
That's just what I assume.
That's funny that like he got a DUI and the judge sends him to have to deal with people who seem like they are on a DUI. This is your punishment. This is what the cops had to go through talking to you.
That's also a funny punishment. Like, I get that it's community service, but it's also like, yeah, you're gonna have to hang around with retards all day. Like, why is that punishment?
Yeah.
But so after this movie came out, like all the actors are doing like a bunch of interviews and everything, and they're like so smart and well spoken, and like there's nothing like they're just like interviewing that girl, and she's like, "Well, I started in Juilliard as an actor, and I stayed there for many years. My tenure was so good." And, like, they just like keep like they're so not Down syndrome.
But see, to me, that's just a testament to how fucking easy acting is and how we shouldn't be taking it
guess
seriously.
so.
You know?
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, I've worked really hard. It's like, all right, well, look who else did.
Yeah. That is the representation I'm doing, bro. Next Avengers, all retarded. That would be so fucking good, dude.
The Revengers.
Dude, I can't get enough.
Don't make me get angry. I get really big and green when I get angry.
You know what's funny? You kind of pass. You're retard passing.
You do the voice incredibly. Yeah, there's that show that's coming out now, Down with Love.
I watched it. It's great.
Yeah. The funny part was the mom, though, too. She's like, he's just like any other boy his age. And he's like, these are my action figures. I'm like, all right, let's not over-exaggerate. What's going on?
He's like any other boy of a different age, probably.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
young age.
By how old?
What is this show?
Like
what is it
26?
about? Is it like a dating show?
Yeah, it's Down syndrome people dating.
Why the fuck is everyone? This is the thing I don't understand. People got mad at me for saying retarded for years. You know what I mean? Like, people always said it was so fucked up to say retarded, but there's 100 TV shows about retards fucking dating each other, cooking with each other, like fucking how is that any different?
Yeah.
The
How
cooking
the
one
fuck
is
is that
very
any
funny.
different?
I saw it. They're like
There
touching the
actually
plate
is a
to make sure
retarded
it's hot.
cooking video?
Yes, it's a show.
Cooking
Yeah,
show?
they're like
Of course
touching the
there
plate
is.
to make sure it's hot. It's like you shouldn't be doing that. With
It is, but hearing it in a Boston accent made me even, I don't know, when you say it, it does.
Oh,
it's
I
like
think
an ER.
I
We
think
never stopped saying
Yeah.
retarded. Like, I remember when I started doing comedy and people would tell me, like, I had someone pull me aside one time and tell me I couldn't say retarded. And I was like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
Like that. Now everyone's saying retarded again, dude. Everyone's fucking saying it again. And it's like, dude, if you weren't saying retarded in 2016, like, don't say it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is somebody's like, "What, like retarded? What year is it?" I'm like, this retard doesn't even know what year it is.
I like the idea on the cooking show. It's like they get done and just every oven and stove is like still on.
Yeah.
You gotta like, go turn it off.
Dude, my favorite is that trip I took with my girlfriend before we broke up. We were sitting at, or my ex-girlfriend, I guess we're calling her that. We were sitting at a what's it called? Like we're sitting at a
Booth?
No, it's like a poolside trivia. And they're like, don't cheat on anybody. And next to us is this guy with Down syndrome. And he's giving us all the answers. And he's like being really confident about it. He's like, that's the answer. And we're like, okay, we'll write down. I was like, do you think maybe he knows him? And my ex-girlfriend's like, yeah, no, he might actually know all this stuff. Every answer was wrong. Every single one was wrong.
Richard Nixon.
Yeah. Dude, it was like,
What state is Seattle? Richard Nixon.
Yeah. Dude, he was like, it was like, what was the name of the shark in Jaws? He goes, Great Jack White. I was like, no, Jack White's a musician. I was like, do not put that down. But then
Bruce.
Yeah. Everyone we put was
Great Jack.
Yeah. But the way he was saying it too was he's like, he's like,
That's awesome.
don't tell anybody I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, they are funny as fuck, dude.
Oh yeah,
They're the best.
Yeah.
I actually got in trouble the other day after my late night show because we made a couple jokes about like people with Down syndrome or special needs or whatever. And there was this girl there who got like she was in the crowd and we needed the show was bombing the whole time. It was like really bad, our worst one. And we needed her to come on. We needed like an audience volunteer to come on stage. And like it's this bit called Gates of Heaven where we just ask like random questions that have no association to your morality, but then like we make a decision on like if you should go to heaven or hell or whatever. So she was on stage and we're just like asking her random questions, and one of the questions I asked her was like, have you ever scratched a special needs child's back?
Yeah.
And she just like stops and like turns to me and she's like, my sister has Down syndrome. And I'm like, so yes.
Yeah.
And like she got so
like,
fucking
no.
mad. She's like, does every joke you make have to be about like people with special needs? And I was like, no, literally the last one wasn't. But either way, I was being like kind of a cunt to her because it's like, why are you doing this at the end of our show?
You're like, I made a pie chart for my jokes. It's actually only 15% that's retarded.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other half was about AIDS.
So after the show, she like I was like wrapping up wires like on the stage, and she like walked up onto the stage. She's like, and I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And she's like, I just have come see you do comedy a bunch, and you're very funny, but you always do jokes about like people with special needs, and like they can't defend themselves, giving me the whole speech and everything. And I'm like listening to, I'm like, I'm sorry you were offended. I don't mean to do that, whatever. And then we got into this huge discussion about, she's like, you shouldn't make jokes about that. You shouldn't make jokes about black people. And I was like, first of all, if I was in an audience full of black people, that's all I would be doing is making fun of black people. Because that's like that's like what you should do. That's like what's funny and whatever.
What else are you supposed to do?
And then she goes, yeah, but like you did special needs. She's like, was the audience full of special needs people? And I was like, I fucking hope not. And, like everyone like around her like laughed and she got like really mad.
Yeah.
And then she walks. So eventually we come to like a resolution. Like, hey, I'm sorry to offend you. I do have to watch what I say. I understand. This is the risk. I run like whatever. I know, but I get very like, I don't want anyone to be upset, And then she walks away, and this guy that was with her like sees her walk away and kind of looks, and then like walks up to me and he's like, dude, I've been on Lexapro and Adderall since I was like 9 years old, so I'm basically disabled, and I fucking loved those jokes. It's like, dude, you're the man.
Yeah.
Like he was so serious, dude. I'm basically disabled.
Yeah.
Because he's on antidepressants.
Dude, I had like 5 beers. I'm
Fucking retarded.
I'll do that with fat people because I like briefly gained a little bit of weight, and I'm like, dude, look, as like a fat retard like the rest of like I just start talking shit about fat people. I'm like, we can all relax as fat people. And I was like slightly overweight, but you feel like a sense of you're like, I could.
Yeah,
I'm like
in the
barely
community.
Italian, and I always shit on Italian. I'm like, look, it's my people.
We do all need a community in one way, that we can, and like it does feel like comedy. It's not one community. I thought it was gonna be when I started. I was like, oh, it's everyone who's like ready to joke about everything and understands things, and it's like, no, that's just not.
I think it's better though than it was like.
It's
okay.
okay.
So you were here when like the days of like. Dude, I remember you remember some of those Brooklyn mics back in the day.
I was just telling people this. I was like, comedy is so much easier for people now than it was when we started. When we used to go to mics, you like any joke that was actually good and work at a show, people would just stare at you. And even like the audacity to try to do something a little edgy, people get laughs on fucking everything now. And there also used to be a critique of the quality of the joke. It doesn't matter if it was funny. Was it a little too close to something that you could have thought of yourself?
Yeah.
And then no one would laugh and be like, I've heard something to that nature before.
Yeah.
That's not funny. Now people are like, oh, dude, you did pretty good up there. It is super supportive, more so than it ever has been before.
Yeah.
I swear to God. And so it kind of annoys me when I go to the mics and I see everyone like, oh, that was a rough mic. I'm like, you have no fucking idea.
Dude, it was some of those fucking same way, bro. It's like some of those fucking mics were like, dude, it was just like everybody was just so mean to you. like literally, and people were just like, people were crazy. Like it was nuts.
And they probably hated you and I more because I'm from Long Island. I had a little bit of an accent. I also had a chip on my shoulder because I felt everyone give me this, you're not in here with us yet. I was like, all right, fuck you. Then watch what I'm going to do. I used to cause so much shit when I would go to mics. Especially at fucking, what's it called? Creek in the Cave. Those used to be the biggest cocksuckers.
Oh, dude.
The regulars at the Creek in the
rigged
Cave.
mic, it would be so rigged. And then like.
Until I got in. And I was like, oh, I love you guys.
Yeah, that shit was very rigged, and it was very much like. But it was cool that the whole comedy scene could see you in one place.
Yeah.
But I remember coming in there, and there was a little bit of like weirdness with stuff, and there was just like. It was crazy because that was like one place you could see the whole comedy scene. You know what I mean? Like everybody, like Usama would be doing the mic, who like at the time was like already doing shit then. You know what I mean? He was doing Gotham and stand up New York and stuff like that. And then like other people would pop in. But yeah, it was like a crazy. But then there's also obviously the crazy people that you're like, it's fucking.
Yeah, I moved here in 2020, like right before the pandemic, and so I got like 3 months in before it all started. But I was like so fucking bad when I got here, and like it was the same thing. Nobody would talk to me. Nobody would laugh. Like every single day, I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And then like one day, I just snapped on stage. I was like drinking frozen margaritas like during the whole mic, and like me and my friend Tommy, who's my other roommate here, we were like laughing at everyone's jokes and stuff, like trying to be a good audience, and nobody was giving anyone anything.
Yeah.
And then like I got on stage and like I told a joke, and like I was so proud of that joke too. It was some stupid thing about like triathlons, but nobody laughed, and I was like, all right, whatever. And I just dropped my pants down around my ankles and just like,
Yeah, you showed them.
I was like fucking hammered, and I was just doing my set like with my pants around my, just like staring at people.
I kind of respect that though. Yeah,
But my friend Tommy was like, I earned so much respect for you. But one of the guys in there, in that mic,
You want to do my show?
one of the guys was Monroe Martin, who's like a pretty well-known comic, right? And he was just sitting in the back, just like shaking his head like this, and I had no idea who he was. So I was just like, this guy probably fucking sucks. You know? He's just a great comic, but yeah, you hit a breaking point, I think, at a certain point.
My favorite thing I ever saw at a mic is just one little joke. There's a Long Island comic, kind of a babyface, really funny guy. I don't know his name. You could probably, like, we could talk about him later. It's a mic at Governor's. There's some actual people that showed up just to, like, support a friend. And these aren't his friends, just like other people at the mic. And they're talking about mining for Bitcoin. And he's like, ma'am, do you ever mine for Bitcoin? He goes, you ever mine for Bitcoin and that pussy? And he goes, I'm so sorry. I just immediately apologize. I'm just saying that pussy. And he's like, I am so sorry. It was just, that should just kill me. There was that one chick that used to go up at the creek and she'd get totally naked and talk about how the government stole her kids from her, which she thought was like a CIA plot, but it was probably just because she's just a bad parent.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about? She'd get totally naked on stage.
Yeah, I remember her.
She had these headphones on, and she'd cover them in tinfoil, because, you know, they think the government's reading your mind.
Yeah.
And
you know what stops that is tinfoil.
Yeah. And then they told her she couldn't perform naked, so she'd just play videos of her getting fucked on Pornhub, like on X videos or something like that. And she'd be like, this is me getting fucked.
Yeah, it's a shame they haven't replaced the loss of the creek and the cave, honestly, isn't it?
I think the Tiny Cupboard tried to do a little bit, but it's not. I don't think it's
Dude, the Tiny Cupboard puts slips of paper on all of the tables before they do a show, and it says if a comedian is making an offensive joke by punching down, report them and we'll never have them.
Do they really do that?
That's written on a thing that they put on the tables there. It's like, that's evil.
They do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just there like a couple weeks ago. They have it on every
I've been
table.
there in forever. Fuck that place, dude.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
I go to the
that's really
mics
cool.
because it's like a 15-minute walk, you know, but
Yeah.
the show is every
Used
show.
to.
I used to.
When was the last time you did comedy?
2 weeks ago today.
Okay.
Oh, you don't do comedy that much anymore?
No, I took a break, an indefinite break.
Good for you.
But
Good for us.
After
yeah, I
that
might
great
do
trip to
another
Austin.
week. What was that?
We went to Austin. I just had a horrible time.
Yeah, it was pretty rough there.
You, me, and Tony were just like really like I was never gonna quit comedy, but I was just like I've never flirted with the idea harder.
Yeah.
Because you have such high expectations. You're like, dude, I'm gonna go to fucking Austin, Texas. They're gonna love me. I'm gonna fucking build a career. Like I'm just gonna like, of course. Like in my mind, I was auditioning for Rogan's Club. I'm like, yeah, I guess if Adam Ega twists my arm, I could consider moving
Yeah,
here.
I'd move.
And obviously, I had the most mediocre set the whole time. Just I killed like one show. Most mediocre sets. And it's so funny the way the mothership works. So people don't know it's like Joe Rogan's Comedy Club. Everybody listening to this knows what it is.
Yeah.
But it's an open mic audition, which is so fucking cool that the booker watches. He doesn't watch every day, but it's like, dude, no other comedy scene really can you perform for the booker like that. And what happens is he sits in the back of the room and he sits behind all the comics that are sitting in a section. And you get off stage and everybody leaves their water bottle there. Because what he'll do is he'll tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I like your stuff. Come do a different show this week to like really audition you. And everybody leaves their water bottle and walks back around. And you walk by so slowly. Because there's a part of you you're like, maybe if I just like slow, he'll think about it more. And so it ends up just being you slowly walking by. You're like, did you see that? Are you sure about that?
Mike's walking backwards. And
What was that? Did you say something? No? Okay. I could have sworn you said something. Yeah.
Now, that's actually a great question too. So, since your girlfriend's departure, I guess, have you had that in the back of your mind, like maybe she's right, kind of a thing?
Totally. I started bombing a couple sets. And
Maybe.
I was like, dude, this is.
She's like, I am right, but
Yeah. I was like,
She
this
wasn't,
is bad. I'm like, dude, the fact that I was like bombing some, like the first set after we broke up, I fucking killed, and I was like, yeah, that's right, yeah. And then I fucking started bombing, especially when I was in Texas, bro. Just 12 days of like, not bomb. I had some sets bomb, but then just, you think the hard part about Texas is the audiences are comedy crowds. So any bit of like edge, I'm like edgelord, but like I have some fucked up jokes, and it's not spicy enough.
Like we use that to build like tension here.
Yeah, and
that's
they're just like, yeah, okay, so what happened? You
they're
banged a
just
trans woman and a
waiting.
pussy, and what happened? Like, okay, next. It's like, are you gonna call her retarded or a faggot? Then we know.
Yeah.
Like that shit pops there. Like anytime I heard somebody say faggot on stage, got like a fucking
big laugh.
Yeah.
So I'm still so curious about this. I'm sorry if you don't want me to talk about it, but I don't think you give a fuck anyway.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it later, but it's not now. No, but now that after she said those things, because I'm so like the idea of being with someone who doesn't like what you're doing and then consistently doing it, and that's kind of like a dagger to her every time you do, right? So when she said to you, confronted you, was like, listen, the podcast, I just fucking, what are you doing?
So she didn't say it like that.
Okay.
So what she said was, she was like,
I'm sorry, I find this interesting. If you guys don't,
no. She was like, basically, she's like, it's just a lot. So it started a lot with like me talking about banging a trans woman on stage, and then she's like, it's just a little. She's like, can you not talk about it on the pod? It's just like it's just a lot for. I just don't want to hear about you fucking other people. It's just kind of like
Why would she listen every episode?
No, but it was one of those things that she just like
existed.
Yeah. And then she just like she didn't say specifically. I was like, I would mention the clips I'm posting, and she's like, it's just. Yeah, but this stuff I had to dig out of her. She never was like, oh, I don't like that you're doing this. I was like, hey, does this part of it bother you? Does this part of it bother you? And then she would say yes. So I'd be like, okay, does it bother you that I'm posting shit online all the time and some of it's like vulgar? She's like, yes. You know what I mean? It was like that. So it wasn't like she just out of the blue was like, you need to stop pot. Like she was very nice.
It was
and
a
friendly.
slow build.
Yeah, and then she would just sort of like address it that way.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was like, I found out I talked about her later. She's like, oh, I thought you were, because I've been doing comedy 6.5 years. We've been dating for 7. And when we first started dating, I was like, oh, I want to do stand-up comedy. I was like writing jokes already. And I was terrible at comedy. She saw the worst side of it. Like really, she didn't really see me later on. But
so she has that vision.
Yeah. And I'm like, I swear I've gotten better. I'm like, I passed a New York Comedy Club. But these things don't really like mean anything to her really. So she's like, what was it? Like, I think she had that vision in her head. But I asked her about it. I was like, so did you think, she's like, I either thought I was going to get used to it or I thought you were going to quit. I just didn't, I never thought about it like long term. And I was like, I would have liked that transparency like earlier on.
Yeah, of course.
But, But and I said, I love her. She's a really nice person. But I'm like, I would not want to date somebody who's doing this. Like, it's a very hard thing to date somebody who's doing it.
Technically, it's kind of like, by the way that you're exposing yourself, she's kind of dating someone who does OnlyFans.
Yeah. She's like, I don't want to be a fucking, I'm like, I get not wanting to be a part of this.
100%. Damn.
Do you guys want to do the joke portion?
Yeah.
And then get out of here?
Yeah, I think it's about time.
All right.
This is news from bed.
And this is what the people want, huh?
It's not what the people want, it's what the people get. Hi. This is news from bed. I'm in bed, and this is the news. A man who received an experimental pig heart transplant died 6 weeks after surgery. Meanwhile, my experimental horse dick transplant has been a harrowing success. A New Jersey school custodian was arrested for performing sex acts on inanimate objects in the cafeteria. But remember, all publicity is good publicity. A real human skull was found for sale in Florida in a thrift store. Police are currently unable to identify whose skull it is, but if they show me the shape of it, I can point them in the right direction. Gal Gadot is planning to screen the Hamas terror attacks for Hollywood celebrities. Hey, Gal Gadot, how about you Gal Gadot? A French Jewish woman was stabbed in her home in France. Police told neighbors not to worry, however, because they mostly stabbed the Jewish part. The father of the Highland Park shooter, who killed 7 innocent people, was just arrested for a misdemeanor. I suppose in some cases the apple does fall very far from the tree. Alan laughed at that joke. I wasn't even going to do it. Lastly, Steven Tyler has been accused of sexual assault of a minor for the second time. You've heard of love in an elevator. Try rape in a ball pit. This has been News from Bed. Good night. Beautiful.
That was the joke portion?
That was it. News from Bed. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Good, Nick Tilleli, Ryan O'Toole, thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, me too.
What do you guys, what do you got going on? What do you want to promote?
The morning, my Instagram is Michael Good Comedy.
This music will turn off in about 2 minutes.
Yeah. If you follow me, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll follow you back. If you say, I will. If you say,
What is this, 7th grade, dude?
what? Why would you do? You gain fans.
This seems like a car salesman tactic to get
Look,
us.
if you say you heard me on
First
this
5
podcast,
followers.
I'll throw in a free air freshener.
Yeah.
For your car.
Follow me back, Michael Good Comedy. Or I'll follow you back only if you say you heard me on this podcast. If not, I'll just follow you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you follow me, yeah, whatever. Michael Good Comedy, Morning Good Podcast. Patty's always on there. Ryan's on there. You've been on there.
We didn't put our episode out, though.
Yeah, we did.
The one with Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, you put it out?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you didn't put it out.
No, I cut a tiny bit of it. No, I for sure put it out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we.
Fuck.
There was some racist stuff on there, and I went on a weird tangent to my producer. I was like, "Dude, we got it." I was like, "My kids have to know where I stood with racism." And then I was a little bit racist. They need to know this. Generations. It was probably a psychotic rant. Michael Good Comedy. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Morning Good Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Third episode, we got a transracial woman, but the later episodes are better. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Me. Instagram, it's Ryan O'Toole. There's an ITS in front of it. It's Ryan O'Toole. I put all my shit on there. So fucking, just go there.
Anyone who associates with this, I don't want to be follow back. Whatever, at Nick Tilleli. That's it. Tilleli.
Oh, also, I hate to be this kind of a fag, but if you like and put a comment, it actually does improve the algorithm.
Okay.
They know that.
Yeah, but they're just
It's not like
refusing to do it.
Yeah.
But my last one got like almost 700 views for some reason.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
How
watched
much
every
people-
episode and not liked anything or commented or anything, knowing what you just said.
It wasn't until today that I looked at it, and that's what made me teeter-totter whether I wanted to come or not.
Was
Yes.
the 600 views?
No, it was just the podcast in general. no, I'm kidding.
Well, there we have
but
it.
thank you. I actually had a good time. I'm not lying.
I'm so glad to have you. I'm glad to have you as well, Ryan, Michael. I'm always glad to have
Always
you.
glad to be here.
Thank you guys so much.
You know me, I'll come to anywhere.
Yeah, I don't have a home.
It was nice being in bed for a little bit, right?